Actually, this is for you. You spoke briefly about the use of America's Cup in websites, website domain names. What other terms are going to be protected or not? I mean, for instance, AC34, is that protected, or what? You know, how?
You need a really good lawyer for that one. AC34. That's a gray area. They're under sort of the incorporation of America's Cup Property, Inc. Lists various very specific things that are protected. I don't have that in front of me, so I don't know. But if you can just keep in mind that the words America's Cup and the image of the trophy in any two-dimensionally, three-dimensionally are protected. And my comment earlier, I don't know if I made it clear enough, but if you are trying to have a conversation about something that you want to offer up, especially to the event authority, but the teams are also very careful about protecting their own rights to use the America's Cup words and images, that get some advice or don't use them. Don't use the words America's Cup on an invitation, a website, a URL, things like that, until you've gotten some good advice. Because if you approach somebody and you are in violation, you just start off looking stupid, unsophisticated. It's a very complicated area. It's not, most of us are unsophisticated in that area, but it's almost a conversation stopper. If you show up at the table and the conversation's about how you've already had a violation, they're not going to get to the service you want to sell or contribute. The conversation about AC34 is a longer one. I don't know the answer to that.
Go ahead.
Hi, by way of example, my name is Lynn Fitzpatrick, and I am the Executive Director of the Argo Challenge. And Ashley and I have had this conversation. We were accepted to the 33rd America's Cup. And we used the words America's Cup or Argo Challenge to the America's Cup. And we have been cautioned from doing that. By the same token, if anybody would like to take my card or talk to me later about the services that we can provide, our team would appreciate it.
Go ahead, Lee.
Yeah, there's so many websites represented by this group here, and an obvious thing that we could all be doing is having something like welcome AC34, welcome America's Cup, just to create some interest and some publicity. Is there any kind of ability for us to do that, or a mechanism to make it easy for us to do that?
I think your safest advice I could give is to check in with the event authority. It may seem cumbersome and burdensome, but if you have an idea or something you want to do, check with them first and find out, is this a violation or not. The rights to actually get a license to use the words America's Cup or the trademark, again, are really, really restrictive. However, there are ways around, not around it, but there are ways that you can use the words America's Cup in, it's called fair usage, if it's part of a sentence, a paragraph, a description. But again, it's pretty technical, legally technical, and I know that might not be the right answer to ask permission, but I always think that's the safest way to go. Because if you don't, you'll get your hands slapped. The event authority, well, it's really the backing up. Golden Gate Yacht Club, as a trustee of the Cup, is they are tasked with enforcing the protection of this. So they delegated that to the event authority, who their role is to be out looking, whether it's on the website or any other place, to see if there are violations of it.
I have kind of an add-on comment to that, and that would be that if you're doing that for any commercial purpose, in other words, you're expecting to see $1 of revenue from it, you're probably in violation.
No, but what I'm suggesting is that you do it to just build interest in the America's Cup. So it would probably be in their interest to have this kind of.
Yeah,
You would
it
have to
doesn't.
check branding and other things that you put on that website. If you just put up a big thing that says, "Welcome America's Cup," with no company behind it, no branding, no product, no service, kind of like an ad in the Wall Street Journal that says "Welcome" without any logo, sponsorship, anything on it. Again, check with them, but it's probably not good.
Ashley, with whom would we be checking? I mean, you make this vague reference as though there was someone to whom we could actually speak. And yet, I'm not sure that person exists.
I don't know the answer to that. But if Stephanie Martin's still here, she may know. And I think part of it is that the event authority is still very much in the swirl of getting themselves off the ground, getting people hired.
What would that person's title might it be?
Well, that person would have been, my role on the team was specifically, part of my job was, I was the expert on America's Cup property issues. Not
We're
all.
in the legal department. We'd be referred to a legal department. Is that right?
You'd either be referred or the question would be referred to a legal department and come back through possibly a PR person or a media person that you're working with.
So is it unreasonable to expect that they may establish a protocol for all of these industrious people who would like to participate on that level? Or is this something that we all have to beat a path to their door and figure out?
Again, I don't know the answer to that. I'm not, I don't work for the team or the event authority, but I would say Stephanie was here earlier, and she, I think, would be a very good start, is to find out who within and whether they're going to come up with some policies.
I'll make a quick comment. I do think Louis' idea, we'd love to all have something on our websites. I think that's what we'd like to do here, is have collective action and think about the things we can do. I think that's a role we'd like Go Sailing SF to help play, is to be a liaison and kind of so that everybody doesn't have to be a path to their door. And so that's one of the things we are talking with them. I don't know the answer, but we certainly want to help facilitate all of our collective action and be a partner, help them have a great cup, and help you get these answers. But we'll be working on that. Any other questions? Go ahead.
How does a business contact the teams to present your service, or will there be a directory that would be given to the teams that would show local businesses and services that are available to them, or how do you actually make that connection?
From my experience within the team, there are two ways. Either we saw people coming to us by knocking on the door once we had our base set up, literally knocking at the door, or through someone you know, or in this instance with the base in San Francisco and a lot of foreign teams coming. I've already started really looking at the websites of these other teams and trying to understand who are the people that they're naming on their website and for what reason. And again, the websites differ greatly in their how much detail they give right now. And again, I would make the same comment. I think that people are really trying to get up to speed, both within the team and the event authority. But the sooner that you could reach out, for every 20 emails you send to some, email address, you may only get one response back, but it's worth just trying. And again, this isn't great news. Well, it may be. I mean, this is a local community. To me, it's a lot of it is who you end up having contact with. Walk the docks, knock on the doors. Seriously.
Go ahead, Jim.
I'm an artist. If I paint a boat and it's got some intellectual property on it, and I include it in the painting of the boat so it looks like that boat, am I in trouble?
When do you start charging?
That's when you call me.
I would like to ask, I'm one of those people that runs a nonprofit community-based sailing program. I would like to see the event authority, with all the money coming in, work with organizations like my own and others and business community to have some sort of from products and services, some sort of a whether it's a foundation set up or some donation pool for a percentage of sales or something to go in to fund community sailing programs and our larger effort to get the community into sailing. A lot of money is coming into this. Mr. Ellison has a lot of money. It would be a good thing as a party to give back to the community and to have us also work closely with the event authority to make a difference.
John, if I could interject. Stephanie's not here, I don't think, but when she addressed the Department of Loading and Waterway last week, they are very interested in setting that up, and I'm working with them through Americ to do that.
Okay.
Just a different question. Howie, what does a protector cost?
Retail or with the good guy discount of everyone in the room. You can spend anywhere from $40,000 for a 20-foot protector to $100,000 for a 25-footer to $170,000 for a 28-footer to $400,000+ for a 38-footer.
Match with the power.
That's all done. Ready to go boat. Yep. The teak is extra.
Okay, any other questions here for our panel? Go ahead.
My name is Garrett. We have a large sailing school here in San Francisco, right near Ground Zero, here 3032, here 41, resorts. My question to the panel, I guess, is have you seen in the past any teams looking specifically to associate with a school or a charter company, or is that not a service that they're interested in?
What I've seen so far is there are occasions where they will partner with a charter service because they're looking to handle their own corporate sponsors and things on outings. They'll try and run day programs and things like that, do competitive sailing experiences for the execs because most of the execs are not sailors by any wild stretch. But beyond that, I think you're looking at trying to engage people that are potentially coming here as a one-off, so talking to corporations or to what we call FIT, which is family incentive travel, to get the travel agents and other tour operators to let them know that you exist and what kind of facilities you have.
The only place I've seen in terms of a sailing educational type sailing lessons, a couple of years ago, Oracle Corporate bought Golden Gate Yacht Club, I think 6 or 8 FJs, they're out there, for their youth sailing program. And so that kind of benefited the club. It gave some exposure to Oracle Corporate, to the team. It was one big message that there is interest and participation in youth sailing, and whether that's lessons or training. But from within a team's perspective, I haven't seen a lot of time or energy yet for the needs of a sailing school, other than what you were saying, charter type business. That this whole academy, sailing academy, what the event authority is really working towards that, and what I think John mentioned, that Russell's interest really is very strong in that. So I see there's going to be a change with that this time.
If I could add one more thing for you, for the associations and the sailing schools and others with equipment. I think an analogy to this would be when the Women's World Cup was won by the U.S. and we saw an explosion in local soccer clubs and players. It jumped like 18 to 20% in that year. Something like that certainly could happen here, but it's going to take a lot of work on your part to identify who in your community is going to be able to access that, and you're going to have to engage them before the racing starts.
Any other questions? I think we have time for maybe one more question. Are we any more out there? Oh, Jim, go ahead.
Does the $20 include the beer that you're buying later?
Jim, come on now. I couldn't afford your beer. I know that. Go grow. Okay, well, I want to thank the panel very much for joining us. That was great information. If everybody, if we do have everybody's name, we will send out a follow-up email. If we could, we'll get contact information. We'll distribute that if that's all right with everybody here. I do have a couple more comments before we close out here. I know the bar will be open shortly, but just I want to make a couple closing comments on the sort of what's next for this group. Go Sailing SF, of course, we are getting together, I think as Gary suggested we should do, and I think Howie emphasized as well. We all should be talking. There's a lot of opportunity here for our individual businesses, programs, yacht clubs, but together we really can, I think, make a big difference, and I think that's what this meeting is about. Hopefully it provides some good information and also some inspiration for us to continue doing that. Go Sailing SF does plan to, whoops, I have a slide actually to go with this. There we go. But we are going to have another meeting at the Strictly Sail Pacific show in Oakland. Don't have an exact time or date yet, but April 14 or 15, the America's Cup is going to be at the show. So we are working with ACEA to help have an America's Cup program. We are going to do, next meeting will be more of a working meeting instead of an information meeting. We've got a lot of ideas, but how do we organize ourselves to take advantage of these benefits? We want to work on the organization structure and where we go next with this. We are also, we are going to be breaking out into working groups, so we'd love to have people who want to get involved in maybe charter programs, schools, the lessons, community sailing. We want to do marketing in general. There's a lot of areas that we can work together to promote sailing. And we are also going to create some membership dues. We are, thank you for your $20. We are looking to actually raise some funds because some of the things we want to do to promote sailing are going to have some hard costs. We've got a lot of volunteers that have made all this happen, but at some point we're probably going to have to write some checks to help promote what we want to do, and so we are going to send out an email that'll have some membership dues. And we do have a steering committee. This is, again, an organization that's been around 2 years, but we are evolving. We just want you to know that we are working. We'll be sort of developing this organization so that it can serve this goal and objective and also be responsible to what everybody wants us to do. So finally, I'd like to again thank Golden Gate Yacht Club for hosting us here, and also Michelle Slade, who did a ton of work organizing speakers, and Sylvia Faison Wilkerson of Event Organizers, who was the organization that helped get all the setup and everything going, and so she did a great job. And of course I want to thank everybody here for coming. And I'm going to pause a minute. I have a question in the back, Jay?
On the 15th, you're having a Coast Guard day for all the charter operators, etc. So it starts from 2 to 6. So that particular day, April 15th, would count for some of the semester in the morning.
Okay, thank you very much. We will try and avoid that time slot. That's great. And then, so I guess finally, just wanted to say, again, thanks everybody for coming. I think Gary highlighted we all want to work together. As Walter Cronkite said, America's Cup is spectacular. I mean, the bay is showing itself off right now, just how it looks and sunny, an afternoon breeze coming up. It's really going to be a fantastic event, and I think if we all continue talking, working together, we hope Go Sailing SF can help be a good liaison and organizer of all the things we want to do to make a great event and a great future for sailing up to 2013 and long beyond that. So thank you very much. The bar is open. Relax and enjoy yourself.